Google Maps versus Apple Maps versus Waze. Which navigation app is best? Now, these are going to be three navigation apps that essentially everyone uses: Google Maps, Apple Maps, and Waze. And most people are going to pick one of them years ago based on whatever came default on their phone and have never seriously reconsidered the choice since. Now, in this video, we're going through every dimension that actually matters in a navigation app comparison. Route accuracy, real-time traffic, interface design, search capability, offline functionality, and privacy, transit support, platform availability, and ecosystem integration with specific concrete assessments for each. Now, by the end, you're going to know whether the app that you've been defaulting to is actually the best one for how you specifically use navigation, or whether you've been using the second or third best options for years out of inertia. Now, first of all, Google Maps consistently delivers the most broadly accurate ETAs across the widest range of geographies globally. The reason is quite straightforward. Google has the largest active user base of the three, meaning more real world data flowing into its traffic prediction and route optimization systems continuously, more data with more accurate models. Now, in major metropolitan areas with heavy commuter traffic, however, the gap narrows considerably. Waze specifically was designed around urban congestion. Okay, it launched as a product for navigating cities where traffic patterns are complex, unpredictable, and change faster than static map data can accommodate. In those environments, Waze's rerouting is often faster to react than Google Maps is, specifically because of its community reporting model. Now, Apple Maps has improved dramatically over the past several years after a rough start that damaged its reputation badly at launch. And in the United States and in major international cities, Apple Maps is now delivering ETA that are genuinely comparable to Google Maps for most common route types. Now, the remaining gap shows up in less mapped regions, smaller cities, rural areas, internationally in countries outside Apple Maps' highest investment markets, where Google's coverage depth is still noticeably superior. Now, all of these three apps are going to show real-time traffic to you. So, if you want to see if there is, any specific traffic from one destination to another, like let's say I'm going to take it from this to, let's go with something like this. Okay. We're going to do that. And once you do that, it will let you know if there are any traffic congestions. So if it's yellow, that clearly shows that, okay, there is going to be traffic in this area right here. So that is pretty cool. Now, moving over to Apple Maps does kind of the same. Any traffic congestion that appears in, the timeline, it will show that to you. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to add in the same location. And once we've done that, the directions are going to start appearing with any, different type of issues that the map has caused. Those are going to come. And same goes with Waze. Any starting point that you want to add, you add that. And once you have added that for yourself, we're going to add this and we're going to add this. And of course, we're adding the two same locations that I've added for the others. And of course, by doing this, what happens is it allows you to actually test the general circumference of the location. So you can see how it has made the destination charm. And this yellow line over here shows that, okay, there is going to be traffic. Now, Google Map and Waze both rely on a combination of passive location data from users running the app. Your phone's movement tells Google servers how fast traffic is moving on the road that you're on right now, and active community reporting where users submit specific events. Now, Waze was the originator of the community reporting model: police ahead, accident on shoulder, debris on the road, flooded road, stalled vehicle, even wrong way driver. These reports appear on the map almost in real time and are visible to every Waze user approaching that specific location. Now, Google has incorporated similar community reporting features into its own app, and they work. But the Waze community is more actively engaged with reporting as a central part of the app experience. which mean Waze's report density in areas where it has a significant active user base tends to be higher than Google's, and reports appear faster than incidents occur. Now, in markets where Waze's users are, base is large, the difference is meaningfully better for avoiding known hazards before you drive into them. Now, Apple uses passive location data for traffic patterns but has less developed community reporting infrastructure than either competitor. In practice, Apple Maps is going to handle standard congestion, slower than usual traffic on known routes, well, but is slower to reflect sudden incidents like fresh accidents compared to Waze's actively reporting community. Now, Apple Maps has the cleanest, least visually cluttered driving interface of the three. The map is quite clean and readable, directions are stated clearly, and there's comparatively less visual information competing for your attention at any given moment. So for drivers who find busy screens distracting, Apple Maps' interface is a meaningful quality of life advantage. Google Maps, although, is going to pack more information into the same screen. Upcoming lane configurations, speed limits, business pins for things along your route, real-time traffic overlay, incident markers, all this information is genuinely useful. Knowing which lane to be in before you need to be in it is valuable in complex interchanges. But it does add visual density that some drivers find more demanding to parse quickly at driving speed. Now, Waze is going to sit at the busiest end of these three. The interface is gamified to a degree, character alerts, map overlays, and is explicitly optimized for drivers who want maximum real-time information about hazards and alerts at the cost of visual simplicity. Drivers who care most about knowing about everything on or near their route before they reach it are going to tend to find this information dense interface valuable. Drivers who find it distracting tend to find it genuinely distracting, and there's no universal winner here. It's just a genuine preference question, and the right choice depends on whether you find additional information helpful or cognitively costly while driving. Google Maps has one of the deepest, most comprehensive points of interest database available in any navigational app. Google's business listing database that you can find on any section, like let's say over here, I'm going to go ahead and search for a business, right? Like let's say over here, once we go into the search section, I want to go ahead and search for a cafe. Now, the business listing is going to allow me to find multiple cafes that are going to be near me. So Switch Coffee Company, Coffee Castle, and it goes on. Now, just like that, Google Maps simply has more data and more of it is current and complete. Now, Apple Maps has invented significantly in its point of interest data over the past several years and in major US cities specifically. The gap with Google has closed substantially, but the coverage is differential with smaller markets. Waze, on the other hand, has functional but not a focused business listing. So, of course, Google Maps takes the scour on that. Now, Google Maps is great for your breadth, depth, and coverage. Apple Maps for a cleaner interface with ecosystem integration and a more privacy-forward experience, and Waze for a more real-time urban traffic intelligence above everything else. The honest answer is the right app depends on your actual use case, and for many drivers, the right answer is not committing to one exclusively, but knowing which one to reach for on which kind of trip. That is pretty much about it for this video. Thank you for watching all the way till the end, and I'm going to be seeing all of you in the next video. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.